I swear to God, if I hear any Christmas music on the radio, I'm coming over this microphone.
Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour. Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour.
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
It's not even Thanksgiving, for God's sakes. You can't play Christmas music before we hit Thanksgiving. It's disrespectful to Thanksgiving. I'm just saying. This is Keith, as always. Unfortunately, once again, my co-host Victor is not here. He is off, training the future of America, how to be human beings, one day at a time. So instead of having two of us, today it's once again going to be one ignorant, uninformed, ill-advised, self-deprecating moron ranting about opinions that I have no right to have, which are probably wrong and absolutely do not matter. My goal is to convince you that where we hail from, just outside Washington, D.C., is not just a city of politics and scandals, but one brimming with art, music, and culture, as impossible as that may seem. So listeners, now that you know why you're here, I am very lucky to have in studio with me today, filling the spot for Victor, the very lovely and talented RJ from Backbeat Underground. Welcome, RJ.
Yo, hey everybody, what's up?
So RJ, how do you feel about this, the Christmas music before Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I'm not really for that. Like, I it's weird. Like, you go in like Rite Aid and places like that, and there's just Christmas stuff like around Halloween time. It's creeping further and further.
Yeah, we're gonna end up like 4th of July and Christmas stuff right next to it. I feel like it can have all of December, right?
Yeah,
all of December is Christmas. That's fine. You get that whole month, right? It is just Santa month. But you gotta leave Thanksgiving alone, right? You're already messing it up by doing Black Friday, right?
And then like now stores open on Thanksgiving, and,
right? Like you're like, finish your meal, run to the store and buy your Christmas gifts. And I'm not excited about that, but I'm like, I'll give you that because Thanksgiving dinner has happened at least,
right? Yeah.
But before Thanksgiving dinner, just Thanksgiving. We should just
That's it. That's what November we're looking forward to is Thanksgiving.
It's a good holiday, right? It doesn't need any help. It doesn't need like sidekick of Santa. We're good. We eat delicious food, right? And we get to see our families. We give thanks, which is an important thing. Yeah. Why do we have to like kind of like frost that with some
I have
Christmas?
no idea. It's kind of like if you're like going to like a high school sports game, like you have to watch the JV play first, and then the varsity comes out and plays.
Right.
That's how they're treating Thanksgiving. Like, no, Thanksgiving is a varsity team.
It's right. It's gonna go to the pros.
Right.
It's gonna get drafted.
It has aspirations.
Yeah, that's a first round draft pick. Christmas, definitely first round, right? Thanksgiving, that's a first rounder.
Right. It may not be the first pick, but
but it's in the first round, right? And like Arbor Day, that's gonna be like a 3rd rounder, 4th rounder, right? Like it's gonna struggle to make the team. Let's be honest, right? Yeah. Which other one? 4th of July, is that a first rounder?
I believe so, especially like in the DC area, because the national fireworks and all that. Like,
oh, absolutely.
We're in the heart of America. Well,
one of my we're not in the heart of America at all. We're nowhere near the heart of America, and the heart of America scares us. But one of the best memories I have is I was renting an apartment. You said that you're over in Arlington,
correct?
Right?
Yep.
So I had an apartment just off of 395. For all the people that are not in the Washington area, just turn off the show. We're going to talk about Washington stuff now. Sorry. So on 395, I was on in a building that had like, I think it was like 16 floors. Mm-hmm. We were like on the 14th floor, and our balcony faced the city. So we saw like up above all the trees and the other buildings. Yeah. And on the 4th of July, we just went out on our patio and we just saw fireworks everywhere.
Wow.
Oh, it was so awesome. It was the best ticket in the house.
Like, all your fireworks are my fireworks.
Yeah, it's like, buy fireworks. I will take them from you. And yeah, that was the best stuff. So, okay, so we've got 4th of July. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how big the first round is, but we should probably have like how many teams there are in our Pick'em League. Yeah. But so we know that we've got 4th of July, we've got Thanksgiving, we got Christmas, all first rounders.
I guess like by technicality, you have to put Easter in there too.
Do you? Is Easter a first rounder?
Nah.
Is it?
I don't know. Like, I mean,
You
like,
get candy. Like when you're a kid, it's totally a first rounder.
Yeah.
When you're an
on the eggs
adult,
and all that.
I don't know that it is it?
Yeah, like it's go buy a new suit and go to church with your
Right?
parents.
It drops, I think, right? It's maybe a second rounder at that point. Like only when you're like 6 is it like a first rounder. Because then you wake up and magic happens and you just get candy. And then for some reason you have to find eggs and you don't know why.
But what else do we have to look forward to on the calendar then?
That's true. Columbus Day is like 4th. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe less than that. And the more we find out about him, we're like, oh, what? The only good thing about this is I don't have to work. That's it. Otherwise, I don't even like this dude. There's Halloween. Where's Halloween?
Oh, Halloween is cool, man, because you get to like dress up and, be another person. Speaking of which, I was Ice Cube this past Halloween.
Yeah, I can see that.
Here's the crazy part, though. Like, I nailed the outfit and posted it on Instagram. Ice Cube reposted it.
That's amazing.
Ice Cube saw me dressed as Ice Cube and approved.
Oh, that's so cool. I like that. Wasn't it in Straight Outta Compton? Didn't his kid play him?
Yeah, it was his son. Yeah,
I thought that was amazing.
He nailed it. He,
yeah.
Killed it. Like,
yeah, they look related.
And I guess if anybody knows you, it's probably your kids. So.
Right. Oh yeah. He could probably do a dad impression any day of the year. So Halloween, that's a first rounder because that doesn't even go bad, right?
Yeah, nah, yeah.
Like when you're a kid, it's all candy.
It's candy, and then as you grow up, it's like
it's
still fun,
right? It's all costumes with the word "sexy" in front of them.
There you go.
Right, like
sexy mermaid, sexy.
Yeah, you just add "sexy" in front of the costume, and then you're like, oh, okay, we're going to a party.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know. What other first rounders are there? Is that it? I feel like there's got to be more.
Labor Day, nah.
Labor Day, nah. What are we doing for Labor Day, really? You got a barbecue, maybe.
Yeah.
That's like a second rounder, though, right?
Respect to the troops, Veterans Day.
Yeah. The veterans themselves, first rounders.
Yeah.
Is Veterans Day that great? That's tough to say. You have to say yes, right? Because you don't want anyone having you on record saying that it's not.
Right, yeah, because I mean, America.
But if we're being honest, it's like a second rounder.
We're not really, most of us aren't really celebrating. So
we don't actually go down to like the national cemetery and walk around.
And like for me, it's like that's literally like down the street. But
I write like my siblings because they all like served in the military.
Yeah.
And I write them and I'm like, hey, thanks. Like you guys are awesome.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was in a diner for breakfast yesterday. And it was like a group of military guys came in all decked out in their
oh nice
in the situation, and like people were walking up and saying thank you, and it's like that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's
Veterans
a
Day. Yeah,
I bet it would be a better holiday if we were veterans. That's really what we're talking
We'd be
about.
like marking it on the calendar and waiting. Like.
Oh yeah, it would be a first rounder if we were veterans, but we're lazy and we just play music and do podcasts. So we're like, I could think of better. Is there a National Podcast Day? Because that feels like a first rounder.
I saw in the news this morning. It's National Fast Food Day.
Is it?
It is, yeah.
I don't think you need to promote that. Because fast food is the thing you do because you're hungry and you don't have time for anything else.
Or your pockets are a little empty.
Right. Do you need to like promote? Like nobody ever goes like, you know what I'm looking forward to? Fast food day. Because then I'm going to go do some fast food.
I'm going to go punish this gordita. It's just all over me.
Taco Bell's like, this is my favorite day. Taco Bell's crazy because all they do is just I don't know if you heard last week's show, but apparently they're racist. That's what we found out.
Taco Bell?
Well, this is what a lady said because she rolled in like really drunk and they didn't have French fries. And so she said that they were racist because they wouldn't give her French fries. It's like, that's how you treat a lady, you're racist. And it's like, no, we just don't have French fries.
Yeah, because we're a semi-Mexican establishment.
We don't care what race you are. We still don't have French fries. She apparently thought it was a Burger King. So, well, that happens. But yeah, okay. So, but national. So we're really thinking about national fast food days. That's like an undrafted free agent, right?
That's somebody you like get off the waiver wire,
right? So there's a few good ones out there, but I think Thanksgiving needs it may not be number one, but it's a top 5.
Thanksgiving is definitely not given its due. Like that's
a shame.
More.
A little more respect, people.
Put some Thanksgiving respect.
Call into your local radio station that's playing Christmas music and then request not Christmas music.
Better yet, if you're in a band, write a Thanksgiving song. And
let's get
that on
song.
the radio.
The problem is though, those would start at the beginning of October. People would be like, "What about Halloween?" We're like, "We need some Halloween songs." Right? We're just like all ate up all year long. We wouldn't have any real songs. It would just be all holiday songs, right? It would just be like, "I fucking love Boxer Day." And people are like, "Can't I just get something about love or something?" No, we gotta wait until Valentine's Day for that one. Valentine's Day, is that a number one?
Valentine's Day. Well, it depends. Like,
is that a one seed?
Single, in a relationship, all that kind of changes.
Right, because it's either like, this is going to be awesome, or I am so depressed right now.
Right. Or if you're like in like the little player predicament, like now you got to figure out who you're spending Valentine's Day with. And
that's good though, right? Because those guys deserve a little stress, right? They need a little heat in their lives. They're already getting like, they're getting tang all over the place. They're like, they got a side girl and stuff, and they're like living like kings. Like, yeah, all these chicks love me. And then Valentine's Day comes along, and they're like, oh, and like, I want to see them sweat, right? I want to be like, no. I understand that you can get any girl you want. Yeah. But today is going to be rough.
That kind of happened to me once.
Did it?
I like just kind of started meeting a girl. Like we were like getting to know each other.
Sure.
Around February. And then like, so actual Valentine's Day comes, and all of a sudden she's busy, but like she's available the day after. And I thought, I was like, yo, you gave me like second shift Valentine's Day. Like
you gave me the night shift.
I smell what's going on here.
Oh my goodness. I got seconds. That's good for Thanksgiving, but not good for Valentine's Day at all.
It's like, the chocolates are on sale the second, like the day after.
Right. Half price chocolate day.
I won.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you weren't on the giving side of that. You seem like a nicer guy than that. So I'm sorry that you had to deal with that from the receiving side. But we're gonna make that up to you today, because we're gonna put you in charge of your very own newspaper. Awesome. You get to be, or magazine, a publication of some sort, as you will.
Nice.
So we're going to do the weather report. This is where I'm going to tell you about news from around the internet that actually happened. Okay. You're going to tell me whether or not it's real news and if you would publish it in your brand new publication.
Okay.
At the end, I'm going to need a name.
All right.
I need to know what we're marketing here.
All right, cool.
All right. What's going to hit the newsstands? All right, so without further ado, this is one of my favorite ones. So I think of the day. So I'm starting off strong.
Oh Lord!
Here's the headline I'd like to pitch to you.
Okay.
All right, RJ. Here we go. Elderly woman accused of training her 65 cats to steal from neighbors. That's right. Yeah, Ruth Gretzkin. Her steps for success apparently were: step 1, train cats to do bidding.
Yeah.
Step 2, get cats to steal neighbors' shiny objects. Step 3. Don't know. I don't know what was there. And then step 4, profit. Right?
Oh, that
was her business. Quote from the article: several victims reported being visited by Miss Gregson's cats before noticing the disappearance of several shiny objects like valuable cutlery and pieces of jewelry. Upon searching Mrs. Gregson's house, investigators found $650,000. $1,000 worth of jewelry and precious metal, along with piles of worthless shiny baubles.
So this has been happening for like a good little while.
Well, and here's the thing I don't understand. Step 3 should have been sell the shit. Right? Like, she apparently just was like, I'm going to keep this here for the cats. Like, that's the definition of crazy cat woman.
Yeah.
Who teaches her cats to go out and forage for gold, right? And then is like, I'm going to hold on to this instead of selling it because the cats like it. I don't know. But apparently this isn't the only time things like this happened. In 2009, surveillance caught a monkey stealing hundreds of dollars worth of plants from a Texas nursery. So somebody trained a monkey to steal plants.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't think with when heists come into mind.
That you're like looking for a monkey?
Yeah. Like getting a monkey to steal plants just seems way too like... That seems like it's going to have a lot of attention to it.
A monkey walking down the sidewalk with a
Don't
plant.
mind me. I've just got this ficus and I'm a monkey, right? Like, And in 2013, a Chicago court sentenced a man to 5 years in prison for training ferrets to steal cell phones from people on the street and on public buses.
No, I can see that happening because ferrets are they're like slinkies. Like yeah.
Although you would think like you would see it on the bus. You'd be like, I'm going to take the next one. There are ferrets all over this bus. There are too many fucking ferrets on this motherfucking bus.
Who let these ferrets on my plane?
Yeah. And so the question is, she missed a step when it came to becoming rich, obviously.
Yeah.
But is it news? Are you publishing it?
I'm going with news.
Yeah.
And this is the reason why.
Okay.
Because this is like the reverse Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like she's like the ill Master Splinter bad guy.
Right.
And she has like her turtles, cats, doing the dirty work. Yeah, that's front page.
I agree with you.
I'm running with that.
It's also one of the only reasons to own a cat. Right? I've just pissed off all cat people.
Oh man.
That's all right. I'll piss off the dog people sometime as well.
I already have.
All right, so we have one news article already.
One.
Technically, you can have all of them if you want. There's no limit. It's just a thicker publication.
I was going to say it's about to be like a novel newspaper.
Right, exactly. All right, here's our headline. Stovetop Thanksgiving pants aim to do away with holiday stuffing tradition.
Oh.
That's right. So there are things that you do to prepare for Thanksgiving, like buy groceries, clean your home, dig out your grandmother's pie recipe, find every damn chair in your house to put around any tables you can find to set up your living room. One other thing you may consider doing is buying Stovetop's new Thanksgiving eating pants. Yeah, I know. So the pants come in only one design, which look remarkably like a box of Stovetop stuffing, but they expand at the waist like maternity pants to accommodate your Thanksgiving dinner food, baby. Like that. You don't. No, it's good because you don't have to like. You don't have to flick open your button or like undo your like belt because it'll stay cinched up. But as you eat, it'll expand. Yeah. Granted, you will have to wear a pair of pants that look like you are a box of stuffing, like some type of Macy's Day Parade float. So that's bad. Now, with that said, I have friends who started a company. It was called Bella Gravita, and it was I don't know if you've heard of Rent the Runway. Have you heard of this?
No.
So it's like if you want a really nice dress for like a really important event, you can go up there and you can rent like a really expensive dress for like one night. Right?
That makes a lot of sense.
It's like $150 or something instead
that makes
of like
all the sense.
$1,500, right?
Yeah.
They were doing the same thing, but with maternity clothes because you only need maternity clothes while you're pregnant.
That's only lasted 9 months.
Yeah, exactly. So every month you get new clothes, you wear those, you send them back. I thought it was a great idea, but I was trying to angle them and be like, you know what you should also do is eating pants, right? Because you can get more customers if you just go like, you know, are you tired of your pants getting too tight when you eat? This is the way around that. They never did jump on that. But anyhow, is it a brilliant idea? Brilliant marketing strategy? Is it news? Is the question.
Nah, I'm going to go with no.
No.
Yeah. Number one, personally, I don't even like stuffing. I don't, like.
What if it's like sausage stuffing?
Nope.
No.
I might eat some sausage out of it, but I'm not eating the sausage stuffing. What's the other word that people call stuffing?
I call it the thing that tells me if I should like you or not.
So you don't like me now?
Nope, not at all. I think you might be a serial killer. There's the only reason you wouldn't like stuffing is because you have no soul.
Cereal like Corn Flakes, Frosted Flakes, Apple Jacks.
There's no way that. Do you have a pet?
I have a dog. I have a little dog.
Do you kick it? Like that seems like if you're not a stuffing lover, I assume you beat dogs.
You're definitely a puppy punter.
Yeah.
If you're not a stuffing lover.
But you don't get it. Why? What is?
Well, no. So number one, selfishly, I don't bang with stuffing. So no, get out of here stuffing. But number two, like just get the maternity pants. Just
you don't even need the.
There's nothing wrong with like a strapping lad, a portly man.
Yeah. No, we're thinking outside the box when it comes to gender norms.
Yeah,
just get some maternity pants.
2017, about to be 2018.
So is it you don't like stuffing because you're like, I just want to go after some more turkey and that's taking up space?
Yeah. Like get out of my turkey's cavity. First of all, stop violating my turkey.
That's disturbing you. Huh? You're like, I can't eat that. That just came out of. Oh my god.
Nah, I honestly think it's just like one of those things like when you're a kid, like, oh, I don't like that. And then you just never really try it again. So like
Right.
if somebody gave me something, I'd be like, oh, this is tasty. What is this?
Right. Yeah, no, I do that. I did that with school. Like, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm be a musician, make a podcast. All right. So not going in the publication.
Nope.
Here we go. U.S. approves digital pill that tracks when patients take it. I think this is interesting. All right. So med compliance is when you have people who need to take medicine but don't. Like a good example is if somebody has like Alzheimer's, they'll forget to take it, right?
Yeah.
And so you don't know if they took it or not. They're like, hey, did you take it? And you're like, yeah, sure, whatever. And it's a pretty big problem especially when it comes to mental health, right? Because if you're like, you have depression, you take medication, you feel better, you go, stop taking it because I'm feeling better. And then boom, right back in.
Right.
So it's a real problem. Yeah. And now one way that we solve it. So if you have like a methadone clinic, these are people trying to get off of heroin. You have to show up for your meds and take them in front of people. And if you don't, you get kicked out of the program.
Yeah.
So that's one way to handle it. But now apparently you can spend millions of dollars developing a pill with a digital tracker in it that tells your doctor exactly when you took the pill. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. You'll basically get a report of somebody if they took the pills or not. I don't know if we needed this or not, but sometimes
there has to be like a simpler way. It is.
Patton Oswalt would say, science, we're all about coulda, not shoulda, right? Like, yeah, we can do it. Should we do it? Should we track people? I don't know, but I think it's good to know. So maybe not as funny as the others, but I thought it was an interesting thing.
This is kind of serious a little bit.
I mean, so here's the thing that like is the side note on this, right? Technically, it's also going to kind of tell you when you poop, right? I mean, it's got to go through, and that thing's probably not getting digested, the little tracker.
Yeah, it's going to stick. It's gonna stick.
So you're going to get parts where you're like, I know where it is right now, right? It's in the toilet, which is also a weird thing to get like, this is how long it was in there. Like, that seems strange. But so is it news is the question?
Is this news?
Yes.
I got like, my mind is just full of questions.
Okay. What are your questions? I don't have all the answers, but I'll make them up.
You got questions? We got answers.
Yes.
How much? Did they say how much it costs?
It is $47.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, no,
I'm
just
over here
made that
thinking like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know. They just passed it. They didn't put it out yet.
All.
It just got approval, so they haven't actually. Like...
I'm gonna go with yes. This is news.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, like we it needs a little further investigation.
Yeah. Are there any other questions? I'm happy to answer all of them with things I just make up.
Poop
is smelly.
Okay.
What do we?
We got that one out the way.
Am I supposed to do it as a form of a question?
Alex, what is poop?
What is poop? It's what I've just done now because I don't know the answer to that question. All right, so this is a fun one then. So kind of a science experiment as well.
Yeah.
Probably one that didn't need to be done as well. So you've watched movies, right? Mm-hmm. And as you're watching a movie and you hear the music change,
you know what's coming,
and like that like the bad guy is coming, right?
Yeah.
So like in Silence of the Lambs, when like that really dark Mozart music's played, you're like, oh, some shit's going down. He's gonna eat somebody's face, right?
Yeah.
So some NYU researchers wanted to find out if there's an actual preference of music genres among psychopaths.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. Keep in mind that the results have not been published in a peer-reviewed journal. So that means, that we're playing on the edge of science here. But the findings are pretty great. So I want to do a little pop quiz with you, okay?
All right,
real quick. I'm going to give you two songs. You pick a song.
Okay.
Okay? Money for Nothing by Dire Straits. Lose Yourself by Eminem.
I'm going Eminem.
All right, great. We'll do two more.
Oh no, I might be a psychopath.
Who knows?
Because Eminem is
right. So, Wayward Wind, which is by many different artists, or No Diggity by Blackstreet.
No Diggity, because I know all the lyrics.
That's true. It's a good song.
Yeah.
My Sharona by The Knack, or What Do You Mean by Justin Bieber.
Oh man, I love the Biebs.
All right,
but I'm going. You said My Sharona.
My Sharona.
I'm going My Sharona.
You are 2 out of 3 psychopaths.
I knew it. As soon as I said Eminem, like he wrote a whole song about killing his fam.
Well, I don't even think it's that. I think psychopaths just are like, what do people like? Right? Like they don't know. I don't know that they know. Because have you ever seen like American Psycho? And he was like, Phil Collins is amazing, right?
Yeah.
And like it wasn't like he really dug the music. He just like read an article that said it was good.
So he's good.
So I think that like, Money for Nothing, Wayward Wind, My Sharona, these are older songs that aren't currently popular. And so you don't hear about them very often. Right. Or No Diggity, still you're going to hear it on
classic.
You're going to hear it on the radio all the time. Lose Yourself, obviously, huge hit, right? Yeah. What Do You Mean? I think is on the radio right now, right? Still, I don't know. Anyhow, these are all things that like recently were huge hits, like in the last, last 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
So a psychopath that's that old would have heard of them and heard people be like, this is the greatest song ever. And I think they just go, yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah.
I agree.
I want to be like a person. So I think that's interesting. But apparently psychopaths really like, I guess, rap, R&B, and Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber one I can't disagree with.
Yeah, I can see the Bieber one like falling right in there.
Like, yeah. If somebody's like, I really like Justin Bieber, I'm like, don't get near a puppy.
Puppy power.
Yeah. So is it news?
I'm gonna have to go with fake news. This is not
fake news.
This
All
is
right,
not real
in.
news.
All right. I'm gonna do two really quickly because we're running out of time here. Okay.
Yeah.
This one's pretty great. Apology after Japanese train departs 20 seconds early. The management of the Tazugaba express line between Tokyo and the city of Tazugaba says they sincerely apologize for the inconvenience caused. In a statement, the company said the train had been scheduled to leave at 9:44 and 40 seconds local time, but it left at 9:44 and 20 seconds.
Oh.
Yeah. Man. And in DC, we can't even get like WMATA to apologize for them to be on fire, right? Like we're like, hey, this is on fire and people died. And they're like, shit happens.
Yeah, sorry.
Right? In Japan, 20 seconds early. And they're like, oh, sorry. That was on us. So is that news?
That's major news because I can't stand Metro, man. Metro is trash. And we need that kind of efficiency.
All right, last but not least, Cards Against Humanity. You heard this?
Yeah.
They've bought a plot of land on the U.S.-Mexico border to block the border wall.
Genius.
Yeah. So they did every year they do like a big promotion thing. They like asked people to donate money so they could like dig a hole.
Yeah.
At one point they like asked for money for nothing and then just didn't send things to people because they already warned them. Like they're just complete dicks sometimes.
This money is for nothing, guys.
Yeah. They were like, give us $5 and we won't give you anything. And people were like, here's $5. And they were like, thanks. This year, they've asked people to donate money. And what they've done is they've purchased a plot of land. And I quote, we've purchased a plot of land, vacant land on the border and retained a law firm specializing in the eminent domain to make it as time-consuming and expensive as possible for the wall to get built. They said, give us $15 and we'll send you 6 American savings surprises right to your doorstep. It will be fun. It will be weird. And if you voted for Trump, you might want to sit this one out. So there you go. There's an insurrection by a card company.
Yeah.
I know what you're thinking. You're mad that you didn't think about this first.
They stacked the deck.
Yeah. So is it news? Last but not least.
This is huge.
Huge.
Bigly.
There
huge
we go.
News.
So overall, what you have is you now have an elderly woman with thief cats.
Got her.
You've got a digital pill that tracks people. Right? Psychopaths, what music they like. I believe you brought that in. Japanese trains being better than Washington area trains.
Yeah.
And Cards Against Humanity putting the kibosh on the wall.
And I got the title.
What's the title of your publication?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Border Wall Kittens. Boom.
You're gonna have to change the name of that publication every week. You know that.
Oh yeah.
You're not gonna have the same stories
unless we can find all these stories again every week. We're just gonna keep developing the stories.
Right. You're gonna have a really good crack team of reporters to get that investigative reporting, but only on a few subjects. All right. Well, needless to say, I will pick up a copy of this when it comes out. It's also making news. Backbeat Underground.
Yeah.
That is your band. That is what you're here to tell us about. You guys sent us a track called She Don't Love Me, and then in parentheses, Like I Do.
It's like secretly, like I do.
Like I do. I don't think I'm supposed to say it out loud. I don't.
Yeah.
If it's in parentheses, we're just supposed to be like, she don't love me. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we're talking about. Now, this is your first track on Fort Knox Records.
Correct, yeah.
And technically, this show's coming out after you've done the big release, because that's happening on Friday, November 17th.
Yep.
But it's still going to be out there when this show is out there.
Yep.
It's right behind it. So if people want to go check out this track, obviously they can fast forward to the 1 hour mark of this show and listen to the whole track. Mm-hmm. Where else can they go to get your music?
Backbeatunderground.com.
Okay.
You can search for us on Facebook. We have links there. You can search for us on YouTube. We have links there. Also, shout out to the Fort Knox family. Happy to be doing this in conjunction with them. And they have it posted on all their social media and websites as well.
And you're on all the medias, right?
All the medias.
So just Backbeat Underground.
Correct.
On just anything.
I believe.
Backbeat
Underground.
It's
everything.
Like I don't know how to talk.
Neither do I.
And then you also have another one coming out Friday, November 17th.
Yep.
Or sorry, on December 1st.
December 1st. There we go.
Called Outrun.
Outrun, yeah.
And that's you said it's based off of a
Outrun is a shout out basically to all my OG video gamers out there. You remember Outrun, the racing game on Sega.
Mm-hmm.
Outrun sounds like it should be in the game, so that's why we named it Outrun.
Okay.
Yeah. John, Papa John, our guitar player, he wrote it, and it that was what was in his mind, and everybody else agreed. So
nice.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So so what we have is a track, a sample of the track, "She Don't Love Me."
Yeah.
And
like I do.
So we're gonna play a little sample of that. And if people want to hear the whole track and you're too impatient, go to the 1 hour mark. Do you want to set this up? What is this about?
So this is, like we said, She Don't Love Me, Like I Do. Backbeat Underground featuring Aaron Abernathy on vocals.
And that's important because a lot of the music you guys do is all instrumental.
Yeah, typically
so he stepped in as the singer.
Right, and he absolutely killed it. He has like the craziest soulful Al Greenish kind of "Baby Don't Leave Me" type voice.
Yeah.
And it's really good. So this song, it's a brilliantly written song. It's kind of a stepped on love song. But it also has kind of a double meaning as well, if you want to listen for that. Just kind of touching on the social issues of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So for this track, you guys are kind of playing the roots. You're going to be the backing band.
Yeah. I'm Questlove.
Yeah, you're Questlove for a guest artist coming in and singing. So here's a little sample of "She Don't Love Me, Like I Do."
Say you dig the way I sing for you, the way I swing from side to side. But I'm starting to, yes, I'm starting to worry you're no good for me, just no good for me. No, she don't love me, not like I do. Everybody.
Now, the big question I have, what led you guys to not get in a singer and just going all instrumental to start off with?
Well, this band was formed. I kind of joined. I came into the mix after the band had already been formed.
Sure.
I'm like the second, third generation Backbeat Underground. But it was formed really like in the idea of classic bands like the Meters and like the JBs and just like bands like in the 70s, 60s that were putting down just like funky rhythms where it wasn't necessarily like we had to have somebody on the mic killing it.
Yeah.
Just the band is going to kill it anyway. So
right.
that was the idea of the foundation of the band. And as things progress, throw a little icing on your cake. And we bring in singers every now and then. Yeah.
No, that's cool.
Yep.
And you guys do a lot of like experimentation on things as well. I hear you've obviously got kind of the funk groove thing happening, but you have some different instrumentation coming in. You've got some electronica stuff on some of your other tracks. You've got I think a really cool video that's up on the internet where you got like a 360-degree camera that's going around one of your jams, like a live jam you guys are doing. And that's just trippy.
It's super trippy.
Yeah. And so just these really cool ideas. And you guys do this live. You go into like art spaces and stuff and like create music live too. It's not just things that you've written prior, but you'll go and like create music on the spot.
Yeah. That's something that that I'm really happy about with the dynamic of our band. Like aside from like our interpersonal dynamics, like we speak fluently together. So like a lot of times if I sit down and like I just start playing a beat, then like Gerald will get on it, Sadio will start playing something more. Like we'll all end up making a song, and that happens so often. Like so much of our catalog, our newer stuff, comes from just ideas that we just fiddled with. So
that's a cool thing because that's very different than what we're doing right now musically. Like as a society, we're very much into like creating a product, right? We're creating a track, we're creating an album, we're creating a thing that you can sell, right? But that used to be, remember, we used to call albums records, right? And what it was is it wasn't, the record wasn't the physical thing necessarily. It wasn't the LP or the vinyl. What it was is that it was an archive. It was a record of what happened. You'd get like four dudes together to play jazz, and then you would make a record of what happened, right? And that record would sell, right? And so it was an archive, and you guys are kind of touching on that, which I think is neat. It's like live, at least, you're kind of saying like, here's a moment that may or may not happen again, and you have to be here to experience it.
And so I think that's a beautiful thing, you know, because you just get so much organic stuff out of just the dynamics.
It's hard to do though.
Yeah, it
is. A
is.
lot of people can't pull that off these days. So kudos to you guys. Again, that was She Don't Love Me Like I Do. And you can listen to that entire track if you fast forward to the 1 hour mark of this particular podcast. Then come back and join us here. That was on Fort Knox Records. It's their first track there. It hit the interwebs on November 17th. So in the past, right? So it's already available to you. Go up to backbeatunderground.com to check that out. And also don't forget December 1st, Outrun, which we don't have here tonight, is going to be coming out. I have no idea what that sounds like.
It just sounds like an old video game, basically.
That's
but like,
cool
though.
Yeah. So without further ado then, since obviously your track is going to be coming out on the 17th, which as people listen to this, that will be in the past. It will be history. We're going to go into this week in history.
Segue on a million.
Yeah, look at that. Like a professional. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a handful of things that happened this week in history. You're going to tell me, in your humble opinion, using whatever criteria you want, what the most impactful thing is. It can be just to you. It could be to the world, whatever you want to use. It won't be held against you, I promise.
Okay, like stuffing.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's held against you. Get the hell out of my studio. All right, we're starting off in 1718, going way back in the machine.
That's a while ago.
Yeah. Happy birthday!
Yay.
We're wishing happy birthday to John Montague. Do you know who John Montague is?
Not right off the hand.
I'll give you a little bit more. So he died in 1792. He was an English diplomat. He was the 4th Earl of Sandwich.
Earl.
Yeah.
Earl of Sandwich.
Yeah. So the Earl of Sandwich is whom the Sandwich Islands are named after. You said you've been over to the UK, so you might be familiar with that. He is also the inventor of the sandwich.
What?
Yeah.
What?
He invented the sandwich. He was gambling and he didn't want to stop gambling. Right, which is how all inventions are made. Right. It's like, it's just like, I don't want to do things anymore.
Convenience.
Yeah, convenience. So he devised a quick meal to allow him to continue gambling. And essentially, so the first sandwich was a piece of salt beef between 2 slices of toasted bread. And he just had his servant come and bring that to him so that he could then continue gambling and eat his dinner. Yeah. And everyone went, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And then years later, the Earl of Burger came up with the hamburger. No, I made that shit up.
Good.
So that's
I was about to say. The Earl of hot dog, the Earl of grilled cheese.
Yeah, that's right. There was Sir Isaac Hambone. He made up the soup. It was great. All right, so then we fast forward from there to 1936, where Su Lin. Do you know Su Lin? I'm teaching you all kinds of things.
Nah, I'm not familiar with it.
You're gonna roll out of here,
Yeah.
and just drop knowledge on people.
Yo, Su Lin. That's how I'm gonna start off.
Su Lin. I'm gonna break this to you. Su Lin is a giant panda. She was discovered in China in 1936.
Okay.
In December, it became the first giant panda in the United States of America.
Boom.
And now we have them in the Washington, like in the DC Zoo.
Yeah.
And people go nuts when they think one's pregnant. And kids go, oh, pandas. So, yeah. So
And they're
very.
really just trying to break out and get their free.
Yeah, right. Pandas are super lit. Have you watched videos of pandas?
They're cute. They're so cute.
But they're fucking dumb. Like, they're dumb and lazy. They're just like rolling around. Like their feeders are coming out and they're like, hey, I'm just going to clean this thing. And they're like, I'm going to like hug your leg. And like, just be still. I'm going to, like, there was one where they were trying to pull it out of like a ditch.
Yeah.
Right there. Because they've got those ditches so it can't like climb up the wall and like, attack people. Like a panda's going to attack someone.
Yeah.
And so it fell down into the ditch and couldn't get out. So like the trainer went down and like grabbed it and brought it up, right? And it was like, oh, thanks, and just fell back down and it rolled back down the ditch. And you're like, God damn it, panda. Jesus. You already know you don't want to be down there. You just spend an hour like crying about it. And so, yeah, they're super dumb.
Yeah.
But they're adorable.
Yeah.
You know you'd get one if you could.
Yeah. And I'd probably name it Su Lin the second.
Su Lin Lin. And then, okay, so 1938, LSD, the psychedelic drug, otherwise known as lysergic acid dilethamate.
Yeah.
Is that right? Something like that.
Something like that.
Is first synthesized by Swiss chemist Albert Hofmann and Arthur Stoll. However, the psychedelic aspects of LSD were not discovered until five years later when Hoffman accidentally ingested some of the drug.
No, Hoffman.
That had to be the most scary moment in his life.
Yeah.
Because first, right, you're dealing with like some crazy like acid. I mean, it's an acid, right? If you have acid somewhere and then you get it on you, you're like, I'm getting this off. Right? If you get battery acid on you, you're like, oh, fuck this battery acid.
So how do you actually ingest it? Accidentally ingest it?
So this guy's like, I'm doing cutting edge technology stuff and I'm a chemist. And then, it's in my mouth.
It's in my mouth.
Oh my God, it's in my mouth.
It's in my mouth.
Somebody get this out of my mouth. Oh, there's a panda. There's a fucking panda here now. Guys, my eyes are bleeding and I don't know why. Right? Like, cause shit's just going crazy.
Yeah.
Right? And he doesn't know why. Like, if you take LSD, I assume, like, I've never done it, but I've had friends who've done it, but they did it going like, I'm going to take LSD and crazy shit's going to happen.
Knowing that it's coming.
Right. That's what I'm expecting. And even then, some of them like went off their rockers and were like, fuck this. I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
Like, that was so scary. Imagine the first guy who did it by accident. Right? And then the walls start breathing and like your face is melting and he's like, I'm dying. I'm just going to die now.
But you know what he thought as soon as he came down, right?
Right.
He's like, we have something to market here.
We're going to sell
we
this.
have a business.
Oh God, we've just invented hippies. Like, that's what we've done. And so, yeah, so God bless him. Like, because I would have just jumped off a building and been like, fuck this. I'm going. I'm out. All right, 1951. Yeah. Sir Hugh Beaver, that's a real person for the rest.
Hugh Beaver.
Hugh Beaver, yes. Right. That's actually a person. Became involved in an argument over which was the fastest game bird in Europe, the golden plover or the red grouse. I know you're sitting thinking this isn't important, but it's getting to it, okay?
Wait for it.
Realizing that it was impossible to confirm in reference books whether or not the golden plover was Europe's fastest game bird, he figured there must be many other questions debated nightly in pubs.
Yeah.
But there was no book in the world which to settle these arguments. And then he hired the McWhirter twins to compile such a book. It became the Guinness Book of World Records and was an instant success.
That was the plot twist.
See?
You told me to wait for it.
Yeah.
You definitely told me to wait for it.
You were like, what the fuck is this guy? This can't be important. He just threw one in that's going to be thrown away.
Yeah, that was the biggest bomb drop. Yeah, that was boo.
Because that was, this is the thing, right? the Guinness Book of World Records was the internet before the internet.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Because
that's
now you go like, nah, Justin Bieber hasn't sold that many albums. And you just Google it and you go, oh, wow, holy shit. He's sold the most albums for a 16-year-old ever. Right. But the Guinness Book of World Records was like, there's no way that there's like, nails. Nobody has a thumbnail that long.
Right.
And you're like, yeah, look at this. There's a fucking picture too.
in a book.
I remember reading that as a kid, and somehow my kid mind thought, I'm going to need to know this stuff. Right? Because you did it too, didn't you?
I remember looking at it and be like, okay, this is important.
Yeah, this is important stuff to know. The highest jump, whoa, that could come up, right? Like, what if a girl's like, I only date guys who know what the highest jump is? I'm like, well, you're in luck. It's 16 feet 4 inches. I got that right here locked away. But it was the weird, and I think it's just gotten worse, right? Because then people invent shit.
Yeah.
It became a thing after that. Well, first it was a reference, right? It was like, what's the tallest man? Well, that's the fucking tallest man right there, right?
Boom, 9 feet tall. There he is.
Exactly. And then it was like, people were like, well, I want to be in that, right? And they're like, well, how far can you throw a frisbee? I'm like, I don't know, let me try. Not far enough. Need something else? Yeah. Let's see. What's the longest time anyone's held on to 2 power lines?
Yeah,
it's like, no one's done that. Okay, you win. You're in. Like, a number of eggs eaten.
But even worse, you got people trying to beat these records now.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, but they're like just records that are like weird. No one's ever going to be like, what's the longest 2 people have ever danced? Like, no one cares. You just want to know who the shortest person in the world is. They're like, who's got the biggest booty? That's all I care about. You don't need to be like, I will give it to the guy who's been hit by lightning the most. That's fascinating. It's like 9 times. And
how
are
are you still living?
Yeah. It's
sir?
Like 6 or 9 times. And you think like, I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that it doesn't hit twice in the same place. So that guy
is just unlucky.
Is super unlucky.
Or maybe he is lucky because that made him, get the record.
Yeah. So that happened in 1951.
Yeah.
Instant success, obviously.
I think that one's number 1.
Well, wait for it because in 1965, I don't know if this is going to win, but I just want to get it out. I've got 2 more.
Okay.
We have the centrifugal birthing device. The U.S. Patent Office issues a patent for a device which facilitates the birth of a child by centrifugal force. Do you understand what that means?
A centrifuge, like the thing that spins around.
Yeah.
And
so what you would have, I assume, I have not seen like the sketches of this, but you would have a lady woman who's pregnant in stirrups,
legs up,
facing out. Right. Right. And then you would spin that bitch around until the baby was like, poo. Right? That's what I'm gathering from this.
Oh, man.
Which, for the record, is brilliant. Because you would, don't tell me you wouldn't watch pay-per-view of that. Right? To see a baby shot out of a vagina.
I can see a lot of people paying $49.99.
Yeah, exactly. Like at 23 miles an hour, that baby just hits netting. Right? And you're like, you're a mom and a cannon. Right? So just in 1965, somebody thought, this is gonna be a good idea.
And it seems like 65 is like a little too progressed to like think that.
Right? I don't know. I think it was like, hey, I got an idea and I know some science.
Let's try it.
Right. You know what takes too long? Babies. You know what science can do? Spin things. All right. Last but not least, 1978. On this day or this week in 1978, a stuntman on the Georgia set of The Dukes of Hazzard launched the show's iconic automobile, a 1969 Dodge Charger named the General Lee, off of a makeshift dirt ramp and over a police car. That jump, 16 feet high and 82 feet long.
Whoa!
It landed. Its landing totaled the car. By the way,
what?
Smashed. The General Lee didn't make it after that.
Yeah.
Made TV history. Although more than 300 different General Lees appeared in the series. I guess because all the jumps, right?
Yeah.
Which ran on CBS from 1979 to 1985. The first one was the only one to play the part in every episode. That jump over the squad car ran every week at the end of the show's opening credits.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so right at the end of the credits, you saw the jump, and I think it froze, right? Mid-jump. That was the jump.
The sacrificial General Lee. That was great.
And that was the first one. And so it was in every episode just because it was in the credits. Yeah. But it went out pretty quick at the beginning.
That's pretty
there.
big too.
The thing that's fascinating to me is, so it ran from 1979 to 85, but it was a 69 Charger. So they had to like go out on a Craigslist and like get all of the, you're getting rid of one? We're going to need that. We're going to need that. No, we're going to fuck that one up. And all the other 299 of them. Right. So it's not like they go to a dealer and get one.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I mean, even then you're looking at that. It is a 10-year-old car.
Right.
When this came out. So they're like, come on over.
I wonder why they didn't just get the latest and greatest model.
Right,
Why not?
I think it'd be obvious.
Oh yeah,
right, because they're just like two good old boys, and suddenly have new cars every week.
Just good old boys driving 10-year-old cars.
Right, just a good old boys got a new car every week. They might be hawking drugs, but we're not sure. They might be pimps. So because they're making some money, I tell you.
Oh man.
All right, so what is it that you're giving? The rundown. Do you need a rundown? Do you forget everything?
I think I remember some.
We have a sandwich being invented.
Bigly.
We have a giant panda being invented.
Not as bigly.
We have LSD being invented.
If you do drugs, I guess that's big.
We have the Guinness Book of World Records being invented.
That's number one.
We have birthing a child through a vagina cannon.
That's last.
What? Is it the way I said it? And we have the first General Lee jump in history.
All right, so here we go.
Yeah.
Number one is Guinness World Book of Records.
All right, that's the winner.
That's major. Yeah. Number two is a sandwich because all sandwiches matter.
Sandwiches.
Yeah, sandwiches. Like
I think you just pissed off the Black Lives Matter folks. Sandwiches matter, people. Sandwiches.
Hey,
that's what matters.
Black Lives Matter. I'm with y'all.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We eat sandwiches, y'all. Like, come on.
Black sandwiches also matter. That's good. I'm sorry. I know I'm making light of something that's very important, but it's a comedy podcast. I'm not trying to piss you off.
There's room for humor.
But yeah, so Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches matter.
Like under that. So Black Lives Matter is like a first round pick. Right? Right? Obviously first rounder. Sandwich is like second, right? It's second round. Like it'll be on the bench, but it's like it's an important role player.
Even more controversial.
Yeah.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Is a hot dog a sandwich? No, not at all.
I mean, it's meat. It's meat in between two pieces of bread, technically.
Yeah, but they're connected.
Oh yeah,
that's the problem.
So then that throws out tacos aren't sandwiches.
Yeah.
No. Quesadilla sandwich?
No. Well, that would be a sandwich, right? Because it's got two pieces of bread separated.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I think is a sandwich, right? Now the question is like subs and stuff like that because they sometimes
because it's one piece of bread.
But I think that's laziness, not by design, right? They just were like, we're just cut this halfway. We don't got time for this. There's a long line. But yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
So all right. So Guinness Book of World Records, most important thing that happened this week.
Most important, bigly.
I can't disagree with you. I'll be honest. So all right. So speaking of things that are historically important, we want to learn a little bit about you, RJ / Questlove 2.0. So we're gonna do a little thing called Near and Far.
Cool.
Near. Go far again. Far. See, that's what it's all about. You understand?
Yeah, you understand. So what we're going to do is we're going to get two stories from you. One that's close to home.
Yeah.
One that's out in your adventures because musicians always have great adventures.
Always. Too many.
I went touring for a while and I remember on like 95 once a piece of my van fell off.
Oh.
Right? And you're like, is it still breaking?
Yeah.
It's fine. We're good.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't important. And all right, so let's start off with Near. Tell us something about what it's like in the home life of Questlove 2.0.
You know, just picking my afro. It's like, no. Near Backbeat Underground, the band that's the focus tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're all kind of based in Arlington,
okay.
And everybody's somewhat local.
Not just outside Washington, D.C. for any of those listening, in, I don't know, Saudi Arabia.
Or Arlington, Texas.
Yeah, it could be in Arlington, Texas. And you'd be like, are you here? No, we're not. We're outside Washington,
but
D.C.
not. So the way I ended up getting in Backbeat Underground was kind of backwards, as most musician connections are.
It was backwards.
It was backwards backbeat. Backbeat words.
Yes.
But so one of my friends that I grew up with, S. Lewis Feemster. He's an actor, professional actor.
Oh, okay.
And his birthday was coming around. This is probably like 4 years ago. And he was hosting like a monologue session with like musical stuff. So he had like a house band, but like he was the one man show.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they like NPR's got a thing that's like Snap Judgment or something where it's like stories.
Yeah.
But then they've got like musicians playing behind it.
Yeah.
So kind of like that.
So, yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And so he asked me to be the drummer. I was like, yeah, no problem, whatever. Happy birthday. Here.
Yeah.
So like I come in and like apparently everybody was like a friend of his that he asked to be in the band.
Oh,
like,
cool.
None of the band knew each other.
Right.
And Satya, who is our saxophone player, and he plays auxiliary percussion as well. He was on sax for that situation. And so played a gig, everything is great. And you know, like when you play with like some killer musicians that you don't really know, you're like, oh yeah, I'll keep in contact.
Yeah.
And like like 8 out of 10 times you're like, nah, it's like it just never really.
Well, musicians are terrible at following up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
we just think about the next thing. We're like, I'm gonna go play some drums. Yeah. And then that's it. All our thoughts are gone.
But then it was like maybe a year or a year and a half ago, Satya connects with me through Facebook.
All right.
And is like, yeah, Backbeat Underground. We just lost our drummer. You wanna come try it out?
Right. You made a good impression on him.
Yeah,
cool.
And I was shocked that he like,
all that time still remembered.
Yeah, he could remember me and like took me up on it. So
that's cool.
Came in and things were like a really good fit instantly. So
yeah,
that's how I've been in Backbeat.
That's awesome. I like that it happened like in a totally different setting.
Yeah,
and then it just organically came together. That's really neat.
Yeah.
Do you do any of those anymore? Where you're doing like poetry or like monologues or anything like that?
Yeah, I do. I basically whoever calls, if my schedule's open, I'll do it. So like
bar mitzvahs.
Yeah, bar mitzvahs, Passover celebrations.
Yeah,
anything.
whatever.
Kwanzaa, anything.
Right.
But
quinceañeras.
Drum solo at the quinceañera.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do is like musical theater. So it's like,
oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
like because it's live.
I was a theater major, so yeah. Totally.
So like anytime I get those gigs, I'm really happy.
All right, that's very cool. All right, well, let's do one from Far then.
Far.
I know you've got adventures out there. You're not fooling me. You got stuff you've been up to.
All right, so Far, we're gonna reach back in the back. And this is like actually kind of coincidental because I was once on Van's Warp Tour with this band called Red Gold Green.
Well, Red Gold Green's from Reston. That's where we're recording
Shout
from.
out, big ups to Red Gold Green. Red,
Good
Gold,
dudes.
and Green. Those are actually their names.
Tell them to come on our show. If you still know them, you hit them up and say...
I'll tell them. I'll poke them on Facebook.
Yeah, be like, dude, this is awesome.
But nah, so like...
down the street from you.
The reason why I bring up Warp Tour is because I found out today that Warp Tour is ending after this coming summer.
Seriously, I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah, they're...
oh, no.
They're supposed to like re-image it.
Okay.
But Warp Tour as we know it is over after 2018.
It's done. Okay.
Yeah. So rest in peace, Warp Tour. Blah blah blah. But
that was such a big thing for a while.
For everybody, I feel like everybody can relate somehow.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so story about Red Gold Green. I had just finished college, came home, and it took me way too long to finish college.
Well,
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to admit it took me 6 years.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You finished though.
I got a degree.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, right?
But nah. So I came home and I had lost my job offer because they took me. That I had like an extra
They were
year.
like, "You're a little slower than we thought. We thought you were.
We're moving on without
now.
you." So I come home and I don't have work and I'm like temping like different places and like I'm scouring the internet for gigs, Facebook, looking on Craigslist, all this other stuff, and I find this band like spelled with some craziness, no vowels, on Craigslist.
Right,
and
it's RD
GLDGRN. Yeah. So I hit them up and they send me like a link to the song that was like the song that kind of launched everything. I Love Lamp.
Yeah.
And they had like posted on Facebook and on YouTube and they got like 500,000 views in like a couple of weeks or something.
Yeah.
Something crazy like that.
It just blew up.
Yeah. So they send me that. I learn it that night that they sent it to me. And like, I had no job, so I just like the next morning, like went an audition with them.
Yeah.
At Red's mom's house in Reston. Shout out to her. Good
Yeah.
peoples. And they're like, yeah, you got the gig. So we were just like, basically, they were like in the process of like developing their set as Red Gold Green because they had like a previous band.
Oh, okay.
And so they were like, once I Love Lamp got traction, they're like, all right, cool, like
we got to figure this out.
Yeah. So they're in the process of developing it, and like I'm like meeting up to rehearse the songs as they're making them, and then all out of nowhere they're just like, by this time I like started working. So like out of nowhere, they're like, oh yeah, we're getting all this attention from labels. We're gonna go to LA.
What?
They go off to LA for like 2 months, right?
Yeah.
They start sending me pictures of they're in the studio with Dave Grohl. They're in the studio with Pharrell.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, like, what did I just get into?
Yeah.
So like they eventually like they're coming back and like they make an album and all this other stuff. Like this time is like a year's passed.
Right.
So I've been like, I'm on my job for like a year.
Sure.
And it's basically like, all right, so we're about to tour Europe.
No.
Like, are you coming with us or not?
Did you?
So it took me like, I had like 3 weeks to decide.
Oh my God, we ran out of time. Did you do it or not?
Yeah, I went. And I had a great time and I loved it.
All
and the
right.
rest of the story.
we ended on a high point. That's awesome. Oh my goodness. What a great story. All right, well, you have to come back sometime, RJ.
Oh, definitely.
All right, bring
Tomorrow.
some of your Backbeat friends.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you for
Did you have a
having
good
me.
time?
I loved it.
All right, awesome. Also this week, Friday, November 24th, Mary Jo Matea is at the Rock and Roll Hotel in Washington, D.C. Go check her out. Remember, we've got music from Backbeat Underground on Fort Knox Records. She Don't Love Me and Outrun coming December 1st.
Yeah.
Go up to backbeatunderground.com to check that out. Please like our posts, follow us, retweet us, share our show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We cannot do this without you. Don't forget to review us on Facebook, iTunes, and Google Play. Thanks to Kevin Evinger, to McNally22, Justin Rogers, Big Metal Records, Alchemical Records, and Engineer Adam for all their contributions. Thanks most of all to Backbeat Underground for wasting a perfectly good hour with us. This has been another wasted hour, and if you just realized that, don't blame us. We warned you.
That day I saw you on the shore, all dressed in green, you took me in. Never been this kind of way before. Before you shame my name around. Say you dig the way I sing for you, the way I swing from side to side. But I'm starting to, yes, I'm starting to worry you're no good for me, just no good for me. No, she don't love me, not like I do. Everybody else above me, not like I do. Does she love me? What can I do? She don't love me. Sometimes you act like you own me, but you don't own me. I cry out to be yours. I throw up my hands when we are fighting. Tell me now, is it over? Yeah. We'll get out and go our separate ways. From this house I never chose. Oh, such a strange place to find.